Good question. Does anybody have ideas of why we split that up? No?
It's because we're trying to teach other people how to facilitate answers to
Yeah,
questions.
that's a good way to put it, Teacup.
Mm.
So it's basically breaking down the process. Facilitating a 2-hour event can feel really overwhelming to most people, but doing one question or being the MC between questions is a way to kind of practice your leadership skills but still be a participant. Does that make sense?
It does. It does.
There is also the logistical concern of the fact that it is a 6-week course and we have 14 people to certify.
Mm.
So we
everyone
don't
also
have enough
needs to
straight
dip their feet in the pool.
epistemologies. Right.
Yeah, and we've always done this for this event is we take turns. I think it can become a lot to have one person doing the whole thing. And I say that partly because I've been the person doing the whole thing. And even though I'm not worried about being in front of people, it allows us to, 6 times 3. Actually, it would be 6 times 4. Yeah. But
I'll be honest, speaking from experience, I
Can I
do
take a
prefer
picture of
just to
that?
be doing all
Yep.
3 questions versus taking a break.
You said
That's
you'd
just my
like to do all
experience on
3
that.
questions?
Not this time, but I tend to enjoy doing all 3 questions instead of just having other people step up and do it.
That's
Yeah.
really great to hear.
Yeah. Well, that makes you eligible for MC.
One of the big things about this course is the idea of scaling events and introducing new deliberative formats. So the most important thing is, can we get facilitators trained on important skills to be able to control the room and tilt the floor? So if you're not familiar with that term, being a community manager and being a facilitator is like herding cats, and that's really difficult to do. But it turns out it's very easy to herd cats if all you do is tilt the floor, right? So once we can get facilitators trained to do that in full, we have the ability then to just kind of have as many of these events as we have trained facilitators who have that ability to control the room. Once the class is done and we have 14 incredible facilitators, now we don't have to worry, and they can facilitate their entire events. We can facilitate multiple street epistemologies all in one go. And the hope is that we won't be the only group at Bridgemakers running street epistemology at that point.
That's true.
Many of you will go off and make your own groups.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks, Vinya. Okay, and I know not everybody here is part of our class, so some of that might have just gone over your heads, and I apologize, and thank you. So we're going to get started here. Before we get into street epistemology, let's all wave at the camera behind you all. That is our streaming camera. So say hello to our YouTube and Twitch audience. Hello, hello. We are all going to have some constructive and hopefully delightful, at times, conflict here today. I have figured out, thanks to Maka, his prompt that this was too blurry to read. Our stream now includes the questions at the top left-hand corner of the screen when watching. Everybody here is being courageous to be here and dialogue in a way that isn't necessarily going to go smoothly, but we're going to practice being deliberative diplomats and representing the spectrum of our viewpoints. So before we get our volunteers for the 3 questions and hopefully an MC, what are the norms that help us learn together? How do we do this group today in a way that is healthy and transformative instead of divisive and destructive? Yeah, wow.
Listening is as important as speaking.
Listening is as important as speaking. I like that. Who else? What are norms that help us work through stuff? Yeah, George.
Iteration. And even after being here several times, like I could see iteration just in the practice people do, but also small little iteration changes over time and refinement just in general. And also just
Lovely.
in the people themselves, which is
Mm-hmm.
really nice to see.
Yes, we practice by doing it better each time. Bunny.
Pay attention to the lag and try not to talk over people.
Nice. Giving a little bit of a pause. That's a way to listen. Beautiful. What else?
Say hello and goodbye before you leave.
There you go. Thank you, Teacup. Say hello, say goodbye. Why do we care about that? Why is that important as part of this event?
We're
Help
human.
shift the vibes
Yeah.
in a more gentle way.
Yeah. We can adjust in a gentle way. If you're needing to leave, if you can practice some vulnerability, let us know what's going on. We're on a journey together. It's like being in a boat. And if you jump out of the boat, everybody's going to feel it. So let us know what's happening and why you need to leave early. And we can hold compassion for that. And we can also hope you can come back. But closing is a way to open well next time. What other norms? We've got a few more that haven't been mentioned. And if you haven't heard our norms before, you can also tell us, how do you have a good group experience even when there's conflict? I'm going to call on some helper twos if y'all don't raise your hands. Okay.
One answer, but I'm drawing a blank.
All right. Mary or Jose? What's a norm that hasn't been mentioned yet?
Keep your status on orange.
There you go. That's a really specific one. If you have people wanting to join, please try to meet them as far away from this area as you can. If you go directly underneath, we can still hear you. Meet them somewhere far away to let them know what the event is and see if they want to join us. But you can give them a little orientation before they do join, including letting them know that we are live streaming and recording. Okay. Who else? Yeah, Mary.
I'd like to suggest one for this event in particular that's new.
Okay.
That if you, when we're doing the spectrum, if you want to talk or you want to add to the discussion, to stand up. But if you don't have anything to add, you can sit down. Like this.
Oh, that's interesting. Can everybody use your avatars to sit? Yeah, that's another way also, is to come closer to the front.
Sometimes
if you're
some
wanting
avatars
to speak.
don't have Go Loco. FYI.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you have the still the sit stand option in the thing that sometimes works in the square menu. It'll sometimes bring you further down. Or you could use the
Oh, that's fascinating.
For
you could
everyone,
use
I think
this
that's
menu.
okay. Still.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
But it might help.
It may help, but we also, last week, we started experimenting with, if you want to share and you are hoping to go first, the way to put yourself in that place is to be closer to the front and then also be further to the edges. That's going to make it more likely that you're able to share. So, okay.
We also, as groups get bigger, I do just want to set a precedent that we will likely start to sample a lot of ideas and concepts, which would make the sit down, stand up thing really quite easy, because if some people don't want to talk, it makes it a bit easier for us to manage time. 99 Bunny actually this morning just placed a really good comment about the facilitator's capacity to see the forest and the trees, right? Manage a lot of our time. So I just want to set the precedent and allow the facilitators permission to say that when we are about to run out of time, there are mechanics that you can use to move forward. And it does sometimes silence people, yes. But the nice thing that we have is time limitations for an event does not need time limitations for communication. We'll get there. Maybe not this session, but next session, right?
Okay. Thank you, Venya. Another norm for our group is, for this specific event, you do not have to pick the opinion that you actually hold. We encourage you to pick an opinion that you haven't tried on before. Don't tell us it's not your opinion. Really try to embody that. And remember that this isn't just who's present, this is also people who are watching. And when we're wanting to diversify people's opinions, giving them representation is part of how we do that. Is we honor that there are specific perspectives that maybe we don't agree with normally, but we can hold that for a moment and hold empathy and a sense of solidness there. Okay. And I'm trying to think. I feel like there's a please come to Bridgemakers events as sober or consciously present as possible. So we ask that you're not using substances. This is a way to make sure we're present with each other and as much as possible reading and responding in real time, not affected by other things. I think that that's it. Can you think of any others, Kibble? You've been around for a while.
Let's see. We can do be kind.
Be kind.
Did I say
Yeah,
it?
that was one of the last
Did I say
ones.
it?
Yeah, thank you. That hasn't been mentioned. Why do we care about being kind? What's important about kindness?
Compassion.
Yeah. Yeah, that we're holding space for other people, and that means sometimes saying hard things, but it's being as compassionate as possible when we do that.
Bridging.
Good. Bridging, exactly. But also shaking the bridge sometimes, because the bridge sometimes is just going to collapse. All right. So, if you would like to volunteer for one of these questions and or the MC role, please come up close so we can see who is interested. Come towards me if you are interested in taking a question. Okay, so we've got George. George wants number 2. Lau, which question would you like?
I can be anything here.
Okay.
Can be a substitute.
Cool. And yay, Crescent. Which one would you like?
I'll get the. Wait, which one did Lau choose? Sorry, did I just point out?
Lau said any of them. So George is going to pick 2.
Any of
1 and
them.
3 are open.
You want to rock, paper, scissors for it?
I don't know how you would do that with your hands.
Gets... Oh, wait, we have MC too, right?
Oh gosh.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we
One more, please.
Let's just go with questions first. We're volunteers for questions.
I'll probably go with question 1.
Okay. Crescent's going to do question 1. Lau will do 3. And anybody would like to MC? Otherwise, it's probably going to be Venia.
I went last week, so I'll omit myself.
Okay. Proactive's out. Anybody else? All right. So, Venia, I am elected you as MC. Do you take the election?
What? No. Yeah.
Okay, good. All right, so I'm going to step down from my den mother role here and get on neutral. I'm going to change my avatar size so that I can fit with everybody. I love that we have so many people.
And you can change your avatar size bigger so we can see you.
Venia is in charge.
Okay. So, first off, welcome to Street Epistemology, officially. You will note that there are several lines on the ground. What we're going to do here is just set a little bit of a precedent for us to get started here. So you'll note everyone is on neutral. The idea is we have 3 questions up in the front. Each question we're going to process through what people think about it. It doesn't really need to be what you actually think. Feel free to take positions that are not your own. And don't tell us. It's totally fair to do that. The idea is for us to have a grounded conversation about feelings that people struggle to understand. So we're basically going to be stepping into each other's shoes, right? So for each question, starting with the first one, we're going to become slightly more and more serious. We are living in a virtual world. IQ is not real. And then lastly, people should have to pass a parenting skills test before they can have children. You can see that there's pretty specific things there. So I'm going to pass this off to our first facilitator, Crescent, to kind of get started with that first question. And over time, one thing that you'll want to keep in mind is that we will oftentimes kind of pop into train. We're going to try to do that a little bit less often. But I do just want to say we appreciate everyone's patience, whether you're in the class or no. So I would love a round of applause, some good emojis for Crescent as we get started.
Oh, that was me. Sorry. Thank you. All right. Question 1. The question that everyone's been asking. We are all living in a virtual world. I'll
We get to
count
move?
down to like, huh? Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, I was gonna say, I'll count down to 3. 3,
Go ahead and have us move.
2, 3 again. 1, go.
Oh gosh. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna go over here. Okay.
Interesting.
Oh wait,
Yeah,
there's
quite the
nobody on this
spectrum.
one. Okay, I'm here.
Oh.
You also left out the word simulation, which I think is a very big word on there.
Oh,
Mm.
do you guys want to reroll? Okay, so going off of that.
Did you
You
say
also
on
have
neutral?
an extra stat that we've just introduced this time around. So remember, you need to set precedent for sitting down and standing up now.
Oh, right, yeah. If anyone is willing to speak, please stand and say your piece as we go down the line. And and yeah, basically what Vinya said. Sorry,
Oh, no.
So I'm
All
gonna
good.
start with strongly agree. I think, yeah, strongly agree. Why do you guys think these guys over here disagree?
It's because, like, they're already here. This isn't virtual for them. So they actually are the characters in VRC. So for them, it's not really virtual. It's actually reality.
That's really clever. You're getting emojis for that one. That was awesome.
That's a good one. Yeah.
Now I'm questioning my
Anyone over here,
reality.
did it hit?
Love it. Nope. Nope. Didn't give me.
Nope. Okay. Next up, Jose, if you want to go.
A simulation is something that was created by a conscious entity, and those over there do not believe that reality was created by a conscious entity.
Interesting.
I'm gonna say you got me on that one. That's pretty close. I'm gonna see if this avatar dies. I don't know if it does.
Is that a thumbs up from Bunny, or am I
That was. I held it up there for like long enough.
Yeah, okay. So
Oh, interesting.
You sunk their battleship. Look at you.
Oh, look, it does die.
Simulation. You heard me.
I've never died in this avatar before. Thank you, Jose.
Does that go hand in hand with it being a simulation, or?
That's right. Yes, I just quit and restart the simulation. Maybe, yeah. I'm dead. Killed Heya.
So, moving on from there, now it's your guys' turn. If you'd like to speak their piece as to why the other
Yeah,
side
what did they miss?
is over there.
Oh, not quite. First, we.
Oh, wait.
First,
yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot
Go ahead.
First, we
will say what they missed. What did they miss about us?
Oh, right. Yeah. So, if you guys don't mind, what did they miss?
Nothing.
No,
One deer actually got mine
word.
spot on.
Oh, George is dead. Okay. Who else?
I was stuck on the word simulation. I'm not in a simulation. This might be virtual, but I am living a reality.
Okay.
A virtual one, what might say.
Virtual and physical? What would you define your reality as?
My current one, physically, I am sitting here in my physical space, enjoying a virtual reality.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
And George is dead. So is it just Curious left?
Oh,
I believe so.
I think so.
So, yeah, you go first. Sorry about that.
Oh, I have to guess why they're over there.
Nope.
Or if you're standing.
No, yours, why you're here, if they guessed it or didn't guess it.
Did you get got?
I couldn't hear them.
You couldn't hear them?
No.
I like the honesty.
Yeah, that's real.
I'll explain it.
I came over here and I don't know. I guess I just looked at the question and it just seemed wrong. Virtual
This
world.
is one of those big moments.
You sound sleepy, Kibble.
This is one of those moments where sometimes it's important for the facilitator to ask a probing question, dig in a little bit.
Probing.
Yeah. So, why do you feel like that?
We are all living in a virtual world. Ooh. I guess I'm not quite sure what the terms are.
How do you mean by that?
Yeah, it's like, am I already in simulation? Is my brain already simulating? If that's not a simulation, then how is this not? I guess this won't be a simulation.
Interesting.
Another good one is to invite people in the room to briefly comment on that. If you'd like to say, that's an evocative statement. Does anyone have any responses on that? Perhaps from the other side.
I couldn't hear most of that, sorry.
You could also, in addition to that, ask for responses from other people. Perhaps those we haven't heard from.
Yeah, definitely. I was actually about to... Is it okay if I ask neutral why they're neutral?
In some cases, yeah.
In this case, though, what we're trying to do is...
do that after we move.
Yeah, what we're trying to do is clarify what Kibble is confused about. That's the specific task right now, because Kibble has chosen to strongly disagree, but he hasn't been able to explain why he strongly disagrees. He's just saying he's feeling confused. So, Mary just raised her hand. I think. Is that Mary?
Oh, yeah.
I feel like I might be able to describe Kibble's case that, kind of our brains and our eyes, we interpret everything we see, which is kind of a simulation, but we don't consider that a simulation. That's real to us. And that's kind of that's the state in which we're living. So if that isn't a simulation, then like the world around us falls within that same bracket. So as long as we feel it's real, then it is real to us. Is
that where you're at, Kibble?
No. It's more like I grew up and they said this was the real world and the video game was the fake world.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Do you want to do a reflection on that and try to rephrase it?
I can try. I don't know how I would really reflect other than like, yeah, that seems about like I could see that. That's a very valid reason for having that dance, to be fair. Again, just kind of growing more into, or kind of, how do I phrase this? Yeah, we can just skip that part, actually. I don't know how I would rephrase that in a reflective manner.
Sounds good.
Sorry.
You're okay. It's fine. You're doing well.
I'm getting stage fright.
You're doing great.
Honestly, if you get stage fright, that's also totally okay. We're training, right?
Yeah,
well,
we're all
Vivian,
learning.
Can you example that for us?
Absolutely. Nice. So Kibble, it's a very interesting thought.
Mhm.
What I'm hearing is that because you grew up hearing that the world was real and we now have a virtual world, it doesn't really make sense to leave that frame of mind. Does that sound right?
Yeah.
You're going with what you
So
were
what are
told.
other people's... Yeah. So maybe other people have been affected by that. So we'd like to go ahead and move on to the next stage of the
Mhm.
effect, and then maybe we can dig deeper.
Mhm.
Present?
Yeah. So now I would probe this side.
Mhm. You got it.
All right.
So it
going off
always
that-
has 3 steps, which is reflect. What did you say? And then summarize. Okay, here's where we are. And then move on. What is the next stage?
So we'd be on summarization. All right. So, kind of recapping a little bit, Kibble had a very interesting point as well, and so did George and Bunny getting hit as well with the statements from Wendy and Jose. And yeah, I think that's a good recap. I think.
Okay.
Yeah, and
What's
going off
next?
that, Kibble, if you want to go first and take a jab as to why they're over there.
Because they think their brains are computers.
Did that get anybody? They're laughing. No, that's not it. Okay.
No Terminators in the audience?
Mm.
No Terminators.
Alrighty. And George, did you have anything or?
My guess is it's actually similar to the idea of like where you feel reality, how it feels is it's real more so because you feel it. So like it's not so important to get caught up into like the philosophy behind the thing so much as it is just to realize the existence of how life can take on all these different forms and environments, like different cultures, different technology, different spaces, and whether it's virtual or not doesn't matter. It's still something that can be experienced, and that makes it real. Something you live in.
Interesting.
Huh.
Anyone
A
over
half
there?
hit for me.
Okay.
Oh, you got one.
Huh. That's interesting.
Anyone else?
Funny.
They ate a bucket full of blue pills.
Ooh. That's awesome.
I love how
Nobody?
you said that in the space of 7
No one
words.
at all.
A bucket. That's right. Like, I'm
Well, and
throwing
I
blue pills
added
at all
a
of you.
bucket,
Yeah,
not just
that's
one.
great. You overdosed on the Matrix being real. Anybody? Do you remember a moment? Did we lose somebody? I feel like somebody disappeared.
Teacups.
Yeah, where's
Oh,
Teacups at?
Teacup. Oh,
Uh-oh.
I have internet issues sometimes. Okay, that didn't get anyone. We haven't achieved anything over there.
Oh no.
So
Oh, we did a half hit.
Did we get a half on Mary?
that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. So going off of that, you guys over there, what would you guys like to kind of add to? Oh, I dropped my controller. My bad. What would you guys like to add to kind of supplement where they could have hit?
You wanna go first? Or...
Okay. I just want to say that
Yeah.
taking the blue pill means you are not acknowledging that the simulation is real. That is a red pill thing.
Oh.
Got the pills wrong.
So you overdosed on the red pills. Otherwise, you would have gotten them all. That was it. Blue pills are us. Yeah. You're the red pill group. Okay. Did anybody overdose on red pills over there?
Wait. Wait, the
Or
blue
even
pill
just
I
take
thought
one.
is the one where you want to remain ignorant.
Yes.
Oh. Oh, so then
But
we would have
that actually does
overdosed.
remove the belief in the simulation.
Yeah, we would have overdosed on blue pills. They would have overdosed on red pills. If they
Oh,
believe it.
okay. Then I amend
Yeah.
my statement. You overdosed on red pills.
There you go.
And this time
We got our
it's
colors.
4 bucketfuls.
4 buckets.
Gotta get that prescription right.
Oh.
It's
Saving
important.
no one.
Okay. Nice.
All right, and then one deer, I believe you're.
Still think it's blue pill.
That was a hit?
There was a hit? Oh,
That's
nice.
interesting.
You're going to take it?
Yeah.
You're like, oh, yeah, that was me.
Yeah.
Okay. What other
And one
reasons?
deer.
Yeah.
I mean, we are currently in the virtual area, so we're somewhat technically, we're all technically, by technicality, in the virtual world right now.
Mm, that's true.
Technicality, so.
We're
Yeah,
partially
it's
living.
technically correct. The best kind
But
of correct.
You
So.
strongly agree from that end of things that we're kind of here. Interesting.
Yeah, we are all here.
Okay.
We're like half here, so right?
Half here.
We're half here. Yeah, half.
Head and hands.
He ate the purple pills.
Pick all of them all at the same time.
That's right.
Yeah.
The purples. Okay. Who else?
Alrighty.
Are there any other?
My point is to compliment Mondays that can anyone without like looking around right now tell me what else is in your room besides this virtual world right here? Because for me, I'm totally immersed into this right now, which means where I'm living right now is this space, which is a virtual world.
It is impressive to do that on desktop.
We get what you're
Exactly.
saying.
I know.
It's actually real.
Click your heels together.
His family is standing right next to him, and he can't hear them at all.
No. I do have a pretty powerful ability to dissociate. I can do it on desktop. Challenge
Yes.
accepted.
You and Mary, pretty good that way.
Whoa.
Nice.
Interesting.
Okay.
I think that's. Lau, did you have anything you wanted to add?
Will that join? Okay, so I would just have to say, I would not believe this kind of intelligence and our beautiful souls would live in a mortal body that we have right now, guys. Wake up, guys. This is not possible. This is not possible.
All right.
That's awesome. Hey, Blue Dead's here. Welcome, Blue Dead.
Hey, Blurred.
Hello.
Let me just see what's going on. Sorry I'm late. Had to find batteries.
Oh.
We're on question number 1. We are all living in a virtual world, i.e.
Oh.
simulation. I didn't forget it this time.
Oh, goodness. I'm
And
still
so
going to
the
argue
last
that the blue
stage of it.
pill is the right pill. In the confines of the Matrix, the movie, yes, blue pill, ignorance, you're in the Matrix. But in the confines of the word simulation at the end of that sentence, I still think that you guys are delusional.
Example. It's an example.
Argue that
It's an
Would
example.
you summarize?
This here
It's an
is
example, no?
as real as what I do in the physical world. It is just a different form of reality, not a simulation.
Hmm.
So I'm still gonna I'm gonna stick with my
Yeah.
18 buckets of blue pills.
Wow. You are all like drowning in pills now. Go ahead, Vinia.
Yeah.
So, Crescent,
Doubling down on it.
Crescent, what do you think we should do with that?
Pardon?
What do you think we should do with that opinion? That thought.
Sorry, I'm coughing.
That's so grumpy.
Yeah, we should. Sorry, I'm
Celebrate
genuinely
it.
drawing blanks.
You're okay.
All good, all good.
I haven't had coffee all day.
Shoot them with pills.
Again, it does fall into 3 steps, right? So reflect, and then summarize,
Right.
and then move on.
Mm.
And
Yeah,
especially when people say things that are extreme, like you're delusional, right? The question is, how do we turn that construct, which is a very strong opinion,
Not
into
extreme.
something constructive for the other side as well, right? Because that could make the other side feel a little bit more
Targeted.
defensive. And the
Mhm.
facilitator needs to reassess that, right? So you could do this any one of 100 different ways, but I recommend just trying to practice 3 steps, which is reflect on it, and then summarize it, and then move on.
Okay. So going off of that and reflecting off of Bunny's stance on the delusional aspect of it.
Oh.
And I should say, for Bunny's sake, I don't think that's actually what happened, but
No,
for
it's not.
training.
No, she believes that.
100% they are coughing. They're down in 18 buckets of blue pills. I'm firm on that stance.
Nice. Nice.
You can enjoy your mortal body.
Goodness me, we're defaulting.
I can.
Going into
Yeah,
more.
right here as I
Oh,
enjoy my
wow.
virtual reality.
What just came out of Jose? Are you the creator of reality, Jose? What was that? That was crazy.
That wasn't Jose.
The code.
That's the code. He gave us the code. Did you all see that? I've never seen that come out of Jose. That was really cool. Show us
No.
again. Show us again. What was that?
No.
Oh. Everybody watch Jose. Maybe he'll admit. It was like all these graphs and charts and numbers. It was like Einstein spilled out of him.
Yeah,
Oh, I
it's a
know
new
that
emote
one.
that everyone has. That's a new emote that everyone has. It came in your
Oh.
bundle.
Oh, we have that.
We can all be Einstein.
You
Cool.
can if you opened up your bundle.
This
Hmm.
is proof that we're living in a
I
simulation.
just opened my bundle.
Exactly.
Found it.
The simulation heard us.
Also, a really awesome
We're leaking code.
rainbow emoji. You can shoot at rainbows too, which is pretty cool.
We've heard, yeah. Some people have had that. Okay. Well,
So,
I think.
Crescent, do you want to get
yeah.
us back on track?
Yeah.
Oh.
You glitching, Crescent?
Oh no, he's frozen.
Uh-oh.
Oh no!
The simulation rejected him.
To life. Do the robot. Somebody
Abracadabra life.
Okay. I'm going to be Mini Crescent. Hello, everybody.
Thank you.
So, oh, bye-bye. Okay, I'm going to say 3, 2, 1, and I want everybody to move to the line that you have been convinced, because this has been quite a lowdown debate. Hello, iOS. Wait, the simulation has arrived. Wait, oh no, that's Armani. Okay, your text said iOS, and I was like, what? They heard we were having a debate. Welcome, welcome. Okay, so I'm gonna say 3, 2, 1 now. Y'all ready? 3, 2, 1, move. Kibble. And why we didn't have very many people move, just Kibble. Huh. This is like a very. Oh wait, no, we did have Sajini.
I was tempted just to fuck
Sajini.
with everyone and go all the way over there.
Honestly, that would have been amazing.
Yeah, seriously. Okay, Sajini moved and Kibble moved almost the same amount. Oh, and Mary moved. Yeah, okay. So using emojis to raise hands, please let us know who would like to share why you moved. Emojis. Okay, Mary, go for it.
There's also the sit down, stand up.
Oh, yeah. That also works. Emojis or stand up. Yeah. Mary, go ahead.
So, ironically, it was actually Kibble's comment of, well, if the way we think of living as in the real world, then we might as well just call it reality. Define it as reality. Because, I mean, we don't really know the difference. Yeah. Thank you. All right. Kibble, do
you want to say why you've now revoked the ancestors telling you that reality is reality? And you're on mildly agree that it is not?
Mhm.
What made
Yeah,
you
I
move?
decided to go my own path and learn to believe in the things I want to believe in.
You like the blue pills, right? You're just like, I love the color blue. I'd like to try some of those candies. Okay, gotcha.
Just start shoveling every flavor beans is what you're
Yeah,
doing.
yeah, that's right.
I was
Okay.
fed lies my whole life. I'm trying to see the truth.
Woo! Welcome to the delusional side, apparently, according to Bunny. Okay, so Jeannie, why did you move?
I think kind of listening to everyone talk, the statement started to make more sense to me because I think I misinterpreted that a little bit.
Oh,
And
okay.
secondly, the reason I went over to the agree side is because I think I have entertained a lot of like predeterministic reality because I was raised a Buddhist and we believe in karma and reincarnation, da da da. I think I was a little bit on that side because of that. But I really am not a gods person. So actually, what made me change my mind was listening to Wanderer. It was like, oh, you guys like nobody made this, and I'm like, yeah, I think I'm down with that. So that was actually a really strong point for me.
Yay! You have all been convincing. That's wonderful. Okay, well, we are gonna, for the sake of time, as Crescent, who has had their headset die into the physical world, we are going to move on. And who's emceeing? It's Venia, yeah?
Absolutely. So first, thank you so much. I know he's not here,
Hello,
but rounds of
Astro.
applause and appreciation
Yeah.
for
Let's all give Crescent
our
emojis.
question one. Yeah.
Woo!
Thank you, Crescent.
Mhm.
If you're watching
Thank
the
you,
stream,
Crescent.
we appreciate you.
There it is
So
again.
we are going to move. Oh, you're doing the mouth emoji again. I love that.
I love the mouth emoji.
If everyone can do me a favor and return to center as we spend a little bit of a minute moving forward into the next section.
And we have a
first-
lot of people, so making your avatar smaller, like Kibble and I, would be appreciated.
Yes. So if you want to make yourself smaller when you're not there, George, you're an exception. Stay big, please. And you already came up to the stage, so thank you so much. So for our next section, we're going to be kind of kicking it up a notch. It was a little bit silly before. Now it's a little bit more serious, but only a little. We're going to discuss IQ is not real. And in order to do that, I'm going to hand off the stage to George Brown to run this. So thank you so much, and let's get started.
All right, I picked this one because it's the shortest question. Maybe that's a clue. Anyways, disagreeing with the statement IQ, you go on this side of the spectrum. If you agree with IQ being real, over here. And then neutral, of course, is an option as well. So with that being said, on the count of 3, 1, 2, 3. Oh, and just restating, stand if you want more attention, sit if you want less attention.
Very good call. I'm still trying to figure out how to reduce my avatar size. And I don't know why, because I've done this like hundreds of times.
Expression, quick actions, avatar hide.
Okay.
Yay, thank you.
Yeah, and it sounds like Armani is on iOS, so Armani can't do that. So Armani, can you resize yourself? That would be another way. But if you can't, that's okay. Okay. Whoa, what was that sound?
Okay. That was my medicine reminder.
On this end, Kibble, you're the closest and most standing up and one of the smallest people here. Do you have any guesses for why these wonderful folks over here might disagree? with the idea of this?
It's because they think school is real, and going to school will increase your IQ. Maybe.
That's interesting.
That's very interesting.
It's all about reality. Oh, those are emojis, but not yeses. No death.
You got laughs, which
Okay.
is just as valuable as being correct.
Oh, it's more valuable. More valuable.
More valuable.
Wait a second. I'm gonna start quoting that.
That's hilarious.
Heya, do you have any guesses?
You all know about eugenics and how white supremacy has manipulated science to tell a lie of a story on who is worthy and who is smart, and that bias continues in today's science. And so this idea of IQ is institutionalized and creates a prioritization for people who already have a lot of privilege. Did I get it? Shocking. Okay. Lau didn't even acknowledge it.
Complete 180 into the dark and dreary tales of history
And presence, if that was their stance, but it is not. So I guess not.
The amusing thing is that you kind of did hit me, and yet I'm on the agree side.
Oh my.
I feel like that'd be it for us. I feel like that's
Is
on
there
this
an
side,
imposter
what you
among
said.
us?
Oh, you're right. No, sorry. Oops. I totally misempathied that. Okay. So you believe it is real. No. What I was saying was about being real. No, it wasn't. I'm so mixed up. So
You guys
basically,
were
Double negative.
it
It's okay if
does.
it's a double negative.
Yeah, it does. It does make it a type of real, I guess, is what I'm saying. The realness is that it is a status piece to say that you can figure things out quicker and better than other people, but it's also got a sordid history to it. But you all said no, so it doesn't matter. I didn't get it.
Hey, you read me?
I'm there
Did I
with you,
get?
Ayu.
Yay! Okay, I got Nikki.
Wait.
Yay!
Basically, it's like not real, but it's real.
Yeah. It impacts, right?
Yes.
It has a very
I agree
powerful
with all
impact.
that, Ayu, but I'm here.
You're on. Yeah, so maybe I just said the whole thing and I shouldn't have said anything. I'm gonna hide now.
So this might be a good option, George, to clarify the room, recognize that there is a double negative, and ask individuals if they want to clarify their positions now that we understand there is a double negative.
Yeah, I guess the double negative adding up here would mean IQ is real, or at the very least, its effects are real. That would fall on this side of the spectrum, and it does seem that was Blardette's position. IQ itself is not so valid, but it has had significant influence and effects, which does make it real in a sort of contextual way.
Like
Right.
real
It's
bias.
real, but real doesn't. I mean, it exists. It has an effect. There is some tangibility to it, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it's valid.
The concept, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
It is a construct, but it does exist.
What's the term for the structures?
Is there anyone else that would like to take a guess at that side over here? Mary?
Venya may have almost spoiled it. I don't know, but my guess is that because it's a double negative, they're on that side because they're all confused about that, and they actually should be on this side because they believe that IQ is not real.
I have kind of similar to that. I mean,
I think you're right.
I think this question or statement makes us all feel kind of not high IQ. So you're welcome. You're welcome.
That's okay.
Whoa!
I have a guess.
Whoa, that hit me so well.
Oh no. Okay. Whoops.
I have a guess.
Sorry. Oh, Vinny's got a
Yeah,
guess.
Vinny.
I think IQ is a word that is a historically accurate element of our lexicon, and we have used it to measure people's intelligence historically. So although it may not be used now, it is a real thing that humans did do.
That's pretty accurate for me, actually.
You get
Okay.
not IQ scores for that.
Nice.
I mean, I'm over here on this side because I disagree with that argument, but I do think that that argument is valid.
So it's a bit like Blurdet's idea, but more so the historical context, and like again, regardless of IQ itself existing, again, it's been a part of history and policies and effects, and that seemed to be Lau, your position.
Yeah, it's like a mix of history, experience, and also studies. That is, it might be a concept. It's not fully explained, but it is like an existence of it.
Okay. Let's switch.
Mary?
Just want to say, I feel like I'm being hypnotized by your little star thing.
Your wand.
Has he worked it out?
Nice. Like that you're directing
All right.
things.
Now that I have everybody's attention again, in summary, it seems to be the idea which resonated with some of you about processing IQ being real just for the effects. So yeah, and like how it's manifested so much, and yeah. Anyone else on this side didn't have their positions clearly or want to clarify their positions more? Lau?
I have a one short reason. So, after seeing them guessing it, I would strongly disagree again. As you can see, the IQ is not matched.
Did you just call us low IQ? No.
That's an ouch moment.
Yeah.
I did not expect them to
Is
be
that-
intelligent to guess it. I'm so sorry. I would have.
Oh my. So wait,
George,
are
how
you?
would we handle that?
Yeah.
Shade has been thrown.
Gotta change into my alter ego here. Cope with this.
So what we would want to do is we would want to use that same process, right? Reflect, recognize the impact that had, and then summarize it. And you can use the summary to make it slightly more neutral. And then you can tell us what to do with it next. Move on. Do you want to try?
Reflecting on that would be how do I say this nicely or neutrally?
That's a bit hard, right? What is the value that might be underlying Lau's statement? Like, what value might underlie Lau's statement that we probably wouldn't get it? And maybe you can focus on that value. Bring it back.
Lau is appreciating our differences.
Lau values diversity of cognition. Okay. That's a stretch, but sure.
Do you want me to give you an example?
It seems to be like a bit of suspicion towards outright denial of the idea of IQ, and wondering if that creates a bias in and of itself.
Hmm. Hmm.
Lau, did that help to summarize it in a way that makes it work for the rest of us?
Now I have to go on the agree side.
Oh.
But yeah, that does, yeah.
Okay.
Good job. Great job, George. Alright, let's move on.
Alright, anyone else on this side have something to share for agreeing?
For the sake of time, I think we should just keep going.
Sure.
Let's keep going.
All right. Going in 3, 2, 1, sold. Okay. All right. On the count of 3, new positions.
Have we flipped?
Oh, there's still our side.
Yeah.
Guessing for our side.
On the count of 3, guess their side.
Nice.
So raise your hand, stand up, whatever. 1, 2, 3. Jose.
I think it's reasonable for the people on that side to not like the idea of IQ because society places value on people based on their IQ, and that's not how people should be valued. And I also think that there are multiple forms of IQ, or they think that there's multiple forms of IQ, and the standard IQ test only measures one form of intelligence.
That's about a 2/3 hit for me.
Yeah, you got me. I would just correct that one piece about there's actually 4 ways that IQ is measured, and there's many other ways that it's not. Yeah.
So a more inclusive and expansive form of IQ makes it more valid and
Ooh, you got married too.
Useful.
Yeah.
I'd also like to respond and add to that.
That's what I got.
Yeah.
My 2/3 hit is because my argument for IQ is actually pretty simple. It was a mathematical equation that we thought matched a majority of populations. And now we have discovered that that mathematical equation is not correct. And as a result, IQ, the math thing, isn't working. It doesn't connect to reality. It's not real. Move on. The math didn't work.
Interesting.
So the measurement itself was flawed all along.
Measurement was inaccurate. And therefore
Very
it's
flawed.
not a thing.
Mm-hmm.
And
Anyway,
normalized off of majority white people, just so you know.
You mentioned time. Should we explore more guesses or get to the?
That is up to you, George. Do you think that we need to be in the trees right now with detail, or do you think we're ready to zoom out to the entire forest again?
Lau had one more. They were raising their hand, and then maybe we'll move on.
Oh, I was muted. Yeah. I'm sorry.
No, we heard you. Nope.
No, you were on.
I just
I guess
mentioned something.
I have a guess, which is IQ should not be a number as it should be now, and it should be like a polygon chart.
Oh, so a spectrum of what it measures instead of a very binary higher and lower.
Yeah, like abilities in instead of just IQ, which is like a specific thing.
Did that how did that sound for this side?
I like that answer, but I'm already hit.
Yeah.
Wow.
What are you saying? You can't die twice.
Nice. Here we go. Mary's gonna die twice. There we go.
No way.
I love that there's an actual death animation. Alright, moving on?
Yeah. So this time, the 3, 2, 1 is to either pick or stay wherever you are across the spectrum of IQ, ideas, inclusivity, or obliterations. On the count of 1, 2.
Hold your 2.
Is this like
Clench those butt cheeks, George.
Oh, are you freezing right where Crescent
George, you're
froze
fine.
last time?
George
Nice.
is not frozen.
I was caught just in the nick of time. Okay.
Nice.
Let me fill in a little bit more of this blank with a reflection. It really resonated the idea of measuring IQ more expansively and iterating on what really went wrong with it, especially over time. Instead of throwing the baby out with the bathwater, so to speak, it can be refined, and that seems to redeem it or make it valid in some ways. That really resonated on this side.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
Great job.
2.5.
That was wonderful. That was perfect.
0.75. 2.9. 3.
Oh, 3. Get to move. You
Oh
hear
my
me
goodness.
behind you.
Terrifying.
It's a lizard brain.
So terrifying.
That is a velociraptor
Yes, it is.
without a body.
The lizard brain is agreeing that IQ is not real.
Okay, guys.
Jose, did you move from the side to the other? I wasn't.
Yeah, I just moved
didn't
one,
quite.
one line.
Oh, you only moved one line. Who moved a long ways or pretty far?
Kibble and Hey, you both moved 2 lines over.
Mm.
Okay.
I would just came from neutral, so I don't know.
Ah.
Oh, you moved 2
Okay.
lines too. Yeah. Nice.
Kibble, would you like to share how you ended up a little less agreeable?
Yeah, what Hey was saying, I was like, you know what, maybe that is true. They've been using this whole time for eugenics and stuff like that, so I guess it is real.
Hmm.
Friendly fire.
So you saw that like there's so many flaws in how it was used that the measurement itself kind of was corrupted by that.
Mm-hmm.
I think so. Well, you know, it's like, are ghosts real, or is the idea of a ghost real? And that's how I'm going by. Is like, oh yeah, the idea of ghosts are real, right? Just like wizards. Is there a thing called a wizard? Yeah. I mean, they're not real, but the term wizard is real.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Interesting.
As you understood, like the idea and the concept more, it kind of made things a bit more ambiguous in a way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I knocked us down. You're reporting me for sabotaging because I pulled us all off of the strongly agree. Okay, I'll take that.
It's just because
Mark.
you did what you did. You know, friendly firing.
Yeah. Yeah, that's real. I brought us all away from strongly agree.
It's a good thing you shrink, Lau, or else those wings of yours would be casting shade on literally everyone.
Nice.
Would anyone else like to speak who changed some positions? Throw out an emoji.
I think we're good.
Okay. Oh, Vinia, I saw maybe something was typed or.
Unmute, remember.
Never mind.
Whoops.
Okay.
I've been sitting here troubleshooting audio for like 20 seconds, and I didn't realize there was mute. I actually moved to more stream.
Oh,
And
yeah, you did.
the reason was because everyone on the other side convinced me to start thinking, because it's so related and everyone has different IQs, that I started thinking about animals too. And that just made me more extreme, that it's just not real.
Hmm.
Animals? Did you say animals?
Yeah. I started thinking about animals and how do we calculate the IQ of rhesus macaques versus Japanese macaques, for instance. We use them in science all the time, and we like to think they have a certain level of consciousness. That's just not real. I've just decided that the IQ test is inaccurate enough for humans. It's definitely not going to expand to the rest of the animal kingdom. So I think it's even more fictitious.
Even more fictitious?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. It doesn't work. It fails on humans, and it fails even more and more and more. The more the standards deviate, or the more the, I guess, data deviates, or the subjects deviate, or something like that.
Nice.
It seems
Okay.
like we could move
Yep.
on to number 3 with the time we have left.
We could,
Sounds
yeah.
good.
Thank
So,
you,
George, thank you so
Mhm.
much. You did wonderfully. Everyone, applause for George. Whoa,
Fire.
that's a thing that happened.
Sorry, I don't know if that was
That's
really
so
loud.
cool. Great job. I really do
Not
liked
100%
how
loud.
you did your reflections, and when you did choose to move on, you moved on very succinctly. So I greatly appreciate that.
Nice.
Everyone else, we're going to go ahead and move on to our next one, who Lau is going to be facilitating. So let's go ahead and reset the room for us, if we can just move everything back to neutral. Please remember that we do still have a mechanic about sitting versus standing, so bear in mind that everyone should be sitting unless they want to do the answer for now. So if everyone wants to take a seat, great. So everyone is all reset and the room is ready for you, Lau.
Okay, thank you. So, okay, let me read the question. People should have to pass a parenting skills test before they can have children. So, if you don't have a test, like, an exam, you would not be able to have children. You would get into jail, maybe not, but like, yeah, you will have to get a test. So, a bit more time. Agree is you want parents to have like the parenting skills, and you've done a test. Disagree is the side that, I just want to be parents, and I want my kids, or my children, they're cute. Okay, so we're moving in 3, 2, 1, move. Okay. This is a spectrum. Okay, so let's see. So I would like George, Wonder, and Jose to guess the opposite sides. And if either of you have any guesses, we can go after them. So Wonder, you can go first, as you're standing in front.
I say because I guess there's so many people nowadays compared to like let's say just like 50 years ago, that we have to be more just like the general situation in the world is so different that we generally need to be prepared to have kids, and it's not just like I want to have kids decision, and people should be prepared and have the skills to do it.
Overpopulations, and that's what I heard. Overpopulations, and you have to actually prepare to have kids. Does that call anyone?
You got you, Sajini? Okay.
Yeah, okay. Okay. A good hit. Doesn't hit for the others. That's a good job. Sajini, do you want to explain if you have more reasons or yeah?
I would say from that statement, the first part, like state of the world, isn't what resonated with me, but rather you need to be prepared. But yeah, I agree. We don't let kids drive cars if they don't have a license. Seems pretty straightforward. Driving a car compared to raising a child seems much less of a responsibility. So maybe you should have a license.
You crash a car or you crash a kid's life. Yeah, that is really important.
Oh my God, that's a quotable quote. I'm gonna write that one down. Okay, that's quotable. That's good.
Okay, back to that. Okay,
movable for these folks
George.
over there.
Yeah.
that is-
Okay, so
that's a
George,
good call out.
do you have any guesses?
I'm trying to think of one right now.
They want exams. They want a license in child. Why?
Facilitators are supposed to be neutral.
I got a guess. The licensing fees will help guarantee the financial stability of these prospective parents.
Okay. All right.
So, like, you know,
That feels like a pyramid
yeah, like,
scheme.
you know, it's like a task before task. Before you get a task, you have to go through the financial task. Did I got anyone?
Interesting.
Good reflection.
That's like 10% me. Yeah.
I don't know. That does not hit.
No.
Yeah, that you can say. You just raise your hand.
I've got a guess. So hopefully I understood that first question, so I'm not saying the same thing. But I'm wondering if some of the people who agree are over there because not necessarily that they agree that there should actually be like a skills test that you have to like has to be like measured by someone and graded, and if you don't make that grade then you are not allowed to have children, thus maybe you're still forced to take birth control or something like that. I think it's maybe possibly more that you just feel that people should be prepared with the skills in a kind of in a systematic way, kind of like in school and things like that, so that by the time that we are people of child rearing age, we have more of those skills and there's a little bit more of a guarantee that you'll be better parents.
So what I'm
You got our
hearing is
money.
that you will have. That is.
That's friendly fire.
Friendly fire. Yeah. So what I heard is that before becoming a parent, you need to have a standard and baseline on the skills in, like, you know, parenting.
Yes, and that like that your society makes it like a real point to make sure that as you are going from childhood to
50%.
becoming a more of adult, that you are getting those skills to become someone who can parent and steward another life through the same society.
Yep.
I just blinked, but when did Hayo died?
Blue Deck killed me.
Oh Lord, did I kill her?
Yeah.
I talked too long. I'm sorry.
The mama owl
Yeah,
to the baby owl.
actually.
You killed the parent. So good.
And we got 60% of Vania.
Yep.
We gotta get a
Okay,
picture
so
together with
answers,
Lordette.
I'm gonna come back to you. Jose, do you have any guesses?
There seems
Or
to be
Armani?
a problem with, I guess, children this current generation of children all kinds of problems, and it's probably the result of them being neglected by their parents. And this skills training thing is probably one possible solution to that.
So it is the annoying kids and sorry, it is the kids that is that we see the current generation have the problem, and the cause of a problem is their parents. Am I getting it right?
Yes.
So having this task could reduce the problems of the kids we are having now. The problems of the kids we are having. Okay. I don't think that get anyone. I do like the answers though.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
Okay.
Harmony, do you have any guess? We can move on if you don't have any.
Nope.
Okay. Not much more to add from Harmony. Okay, so now we are gonna review the answers. We gonna start with Vania because we got 60% of her.
Sure. I think Blurdette had a lot to be said for that, which is a lot of our parents are accepting, by virtue of bringing kids into society, a social contract to ensure that those children are not simply reared by themselves, but also are appropriately educated for purposes of success in their environments. That should come with a test because it is the parents' responsibility. However, I think that when it comes to administering that test, it shouldn't be considered a pass-fail. It should be considered a census because there's not just one side of the equation here. It's not just parents and kids. It's society too. So I think that those tests should operate as census that tell us how prepared parents are in specific areas to ensure that their children will be appropriate future voters, or that they'll have certain economic and fiduciary responsibilities that are conferred, like taxes. I think in a lot of ways, having those parental exams, it's not pass-fail, but it's more the country doing their due diligence to make sure that children are raised regardless of who the parents are.
So more like a parent's assessment, more like an assessment than an exam.
You got me.
I think calling it an exam is more appropriate, yeah. But I mean, assessment works, but I think it's too weak of a word, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Maybe there's a different word that's better there.
Okay, good question. Well, do any of the others have opinions that you want to share?
How about IQ test? Yeah.
Let's take an IQ test.
All the shade today. Woo!
Great it goes dark.
Fire today.
Yeah.
This is some good spiciness we're having
The
going on.
spicy street
You have to have a
epistemology.
certain IQ to do it.
Okay.
I feel like that kind of hits a little too close to what was that really
Eugenics.
famous movie where
You gotta
Oh.
find something you can trust. So many Black Mirrors out there.
yeah, there's a famous movie that brings up, but I'm trying to remember what it's called. It's so famous. It's so well known. It's about a guy who wakes up 100 years in the future and everyone's dumb.
Idiocracy.
Idiocracy,
Yeah.
yeah. Reminds me a lot of Idiocracy.
Yeah.
Huh?
But he's dumb, but everyone else is so much dumber that he's the smartest guy.
Yeah, that one. Okay. So, do any of the others want to talk about your opinion on like why is it just on Mali? Agree.
What about anyone who doesn't feel like anything was touched for them and nothing, like no one got even close to like 40%?
Yeah.
Good question.
Very good.
It's okay. We can leave time to the other side because they are more extreme. If you guys, want to pass it.
There you go.
All right,
Nice. Let's go back.
Let's switch sides then.
Okay. So prepare your cannons. We are gonna fire and hit the ships. Any of you will want to take a guess?
Let's see. You believe that we shouldn't test people because we live in a prejudicial society and the most privileged will get the access and the underprivileged will be marginalized even further.
It's taking off their, rights to do that.
Maybe it's,
Like
it's part of it.
85%.
Okay.
It's like
Whoa.
a third.
A third. All right.
A third for 1 year.
I'll take it. I'll take
85%
it.
for a bird. And
It's a good
our
opening
money
shot.
10% for our money.
Yep.
Yeah.
10%. Oh.
It's like a.
Bernadette, maybe you wanna review your answer because like it's 85%. It's really close. What's that one part we're missing?
Stand up.
Yeah,
Hey,
the
Theo,
part that
welcome.
we're just missing is because of who kind of runs the world right now, and therefore the people who would be putting this together and administering it. And I know that there would be pass fail. It would not be used for just information. I just don't feel like it's something that would work. I think it could be used too much to categorize people, limit people. Just the way all these other things that are supposed to be helping us and our children are being confused. So, but they definitely need those parenting skills. I'm just not sure about the test.
Class is like too much of a effort for people.
Plus, this says that they have to pass a parenting skills test, and that limitation, like that requirement, I don't think is realistic and is open to bad actors if they have to pass.
Yeah. If like everyone has to pass, it would create a whoa.
Yeah.
Not imaginable. Okay, so do we have other guesses?
Did I kill George? I was the only one that guessed.
No, Blurdette. Friendly
Oh,
fire.
Blurdette. Oh,
my
Blurdette.
I think we should add a system, guys. I think we should add a system. I do not know. I don't think friendly fire is allowed. But let's go back to Sajini, which has a guess.
Yes,
Which
it
has
is
a
a
guess.
birthright. It is a birthright.
Okay.
Another third, I guess.
Another third. That is very close, but very close. We're gonna get the last third if anyone wants to try.
Oh, Bunny's raising
I
her
see
hand.
Bunny's hand.
Yeah.
Yep. That's a really small hand, but
Bunny. A tiny hand.
Huh.
yeah.
It is my belief that they don't think any more children should be born in the world, and therefore, just no one's going to have kids, period.
Oh.
Oh, that's
No one's gonna get
clever.
one.
There's no need for a test because
Wow.
we're
That did
going
not
extinct.
hit.
That's
That did not
interesting.
hit.
Oh my.
Whoa. Whoa.
That is a wide miss.
Oh, that's
That is so
interesting.
very interesting.
Yeah, I like that argument. Did that get anybody over there? One dear George?
It wasn't meant to get anybody.
No.
It
It was a
meant
good
to
one,
be
though.
Okay.
a bigger
Okay.
statement.
We
A
really
bigger
missed.
statement of population.
You're like,
Yeah.
this
We tried,
whole
okay? We
conversation
tried.
is void because it's all simulation and IQ isn't real anyways. So,
No
nice.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll take a
And
guess
the
as to
VR
why they're
children I
there.
have to get to.
Oh.
Excuse me, people.
Proactive has one.
Proactive have a guess.
I'd stand, but I'm locked in place. So imagine I'm standing. I imagine that people shouldn't. They disagree with that is because everyone should have love and peace and breed like rabbits all the time.
Your point
Nothing
is
wrong
all,
with that.
but yeah, we should spare love, guys. We should spare love. So
0% for our
agree
money.
with this Hauser?
You got water out of Jose instead of mathematical equations, so I don't know what that means.
I
Is
think
that
that's
water?
positive.
That was holy
Hopefully
water.
that was water.
holy water.
Yeah.
It's Catholic.
Oh yeah, you were using a bunny reference, and that might have offended your teammate back there. Okay, make love like bunnies.
Bunny's just like, I ascribe to it.
Toxic
oh my
chat.
god. Oh, what is that?
Toxic
Bunnies
chat.
are funny for a reason.
Where
Nice.
did that come from? How did that happen? Was that you, Astral?
Oh my gosh. that's
Okay,
awesome.
does that got anyone there?
Nope.
I tooted.
That's funny. That
Oh.
was amazing.
Okay.
Okay.
So
What did we
if
miss?
there's no more guesses, we can review the answer.
Tell us.
Go with 1 dear, yes.
Okay. So I guess 2/3 of my opinion already explained. So the part where it would be used to limit parts or groups from having children, which I think it was you that mentioned it. And then it would also what was the word? I forgot.
Birthright.
The all other point that was mentioned was that basically they just wouldn't realistically work. It would create stability if this was applied worldwide. It would create instability and revolts. And I remember the end. It's a human right to have your children. No one should tell you that you can't or that you shouldn't. It has responsibilities, of course, but I believe that's part of parenting and learning that not only before you become a parent, but also when you're a parent, you also learn. You're always learning, and
Hmm.
that's kind of
Yeah.
why.
Yeah. It might create some chaos. So from Armani, it's like, I'll repeat the text. The concept of a test for parental skills is too narrow compared to a support system and even mail templates for skill information.
Mm.
That's
Okay.
interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like a support system would be more helpful than it's like actual task.
Okay. So it sounds like there's an alternative way of getting that information to parents, and that alternative way would be more sufficient on a social level. Does that sound right?
Yeah, we don't really call parents skill issue by not passing the test. Instead, we offer them some skill supports.
Mm.
Okay. Whoa, hi tail.
Bye, tail.
There's
I
a
love
shark
my
in
thick
my
tail.
Quotable quote.
Yeah.
A census would help kind of like an option to check for more info. Female.
Oh,
A census would help kind of like
Yeah.
an option to check for more info to be mailed or shared to you.
Yeah, I like that. Or like what, I don't know, government benefits are actually helping you or aren't helping you, that kind of thing.
Exactly. Okay, so
Hmm.
I want to move to the next person as we have two more extreme opinion
Mm-hmm.
on here. George, you can go first.
You could pass.
I could pass. We still have time for you, both you and Jose.
So what am I answering?
Your answer that the hit that we missed.
Okay. Let me think. I think Sanjin, you got it right, but it was like it's a basic human right to procreate, and also placing a restriction or a requirement for someone to pass a test is a form of regulating a person's body. And I don't like that.
Interesting.
Okay.
We all have our freedom to do it. Okay. It's our body. Well, I see someone raised hand. Is it Theo or is it Mary?
We were just waving.
Nice.
Oh, we were just waving. Okay. So George, last bit of time. Do you wanna do a quick, answers?
Oh,
Let's-
yeah. It was mainly what Bordette said. TLDR, it would probably be poorly implemented and used for more political corruption, blah blah blah. Yeah.
We
it
should-
can be easily abused.
Next week's will be politicians should pass the test before running for election. And that'll be a whole other.
Yeah.
I mean,
They'll have to pass a citizenship test, and they wouldn't pass the citizenship test either.
Imagine 90% of the politician actually failed the test in the world right now.
Pretty much.
Okay, so we're gonna go to countdown. So we're gonna switch side. So switch to the side if you have changed your opinion. So countdown 3, 2, 1.
Hold your two.
Move. Oh, reflect and summarize. I
That's
did
okay.
forgot that. My bad.
That's all right. Let's keep going because we only have 15 minutes left.
Okay, I see Blurad move a lot. I see Mary moved a lot. I also see Tio move to the disagree part, and Heyo moves a little bit, 2 lines I think, or 3. The others stayed, and George moved a lot. Yes, we can go with people who have like really extreme opinion or like strong opinion. So Blurad, you can go first, and then we can go with Mary because you both change a lot. You're more
you.
extreme.
Mine is pretty simple. After reading it again and looking at the words have to pass a parenting skills test, that specific requirement makes it a total disagree for me. But I do appreciate the intention of the quote. It's just the wrong question, wrong answer.
Yeah, so have to pass is really a big no-no. Maybe we can switch to other way. Okay, Mary.
Mine is basically what Amani said.
So like there's another more helpful way instead of a test.
Yeah.
Okay. Now moving to Theo a bit. After that, we can move to George.
Skip me if you want.
Okay, George, why did you move?
Oh wait, is it my turn?
Mm-hmm.
Oh shoot.
Why did you move?
It's as long as the tests aren't like hard barriers, they don't become like structural hindrances. Adding all the extra support systems and information sources would be very helpful. So there could be ways to implement these tests where they're supplementary and supportive and not necessarily a barrier, which is why I slightly agree with the idea.
And maybe it's not that like, maybe the task is not that extreme. Then I guess like a supportive thing too.
That got me too.
Okay, so if anyone has really strong opinion, you can share it now. It's like a free session.
We have about 2 minutes available for additional input.
Yeah.
Always make
So
sure
try to
that
make
you
it quick.
apply the limitation law.
Yeah, sure.
It
So
basically keeps
try to make it
us
quick.
as individuals apprised.
Okay.
We have about 2 more minutes if anyone wants to share one last thought.
I moved one line over because I do think that if you have to pass a test, if it's small little tests that maybe are brought into your life throughout the educational system that essentially are sort of checks on you're pulling this information in, and it's part of your mental lexicon or whatever, then yeah, in that case, yeah, little small supplemental tests, I'm cool with that. Just not a big, this is your test, will you become a parent or not? Dun dun.
Right. Okay, so I'm gonna repeat of the text from Vania. For all, the idea of adding those limitations is to let people know down in the trees what is happening with the forest as a whole. Okay, for the time's sake, I'm gonna end this kid crash car or crash kit question. Thank you guys.
Thank you. Let's all give loud emojis. Woo!
Wonderful applause. Wonderful
Yay.
setup.
Yes.
Wow, I think you did really wonderfully. There were a few times you skipped a reflection, but you used the summarization in order to make it work either way. So really great job. It sounds like a facilitation style where summaries work really strong for you.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, that is it for street epistemology's actual function. So we are actually going to move on, per Bridgemaker's tradition, to an appreciation circle. Now, there are quite a few of us, though, and we are a little bit short on time. We have about 15 minutes left. So what I would like to do is have us split up if possible. One more time.
Hand. I saw hand from here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I was raising my hand. I think that was one option. The other option was just to do a different format, which is like a 1 minute maximum summary of something you're taking away from today. So it's an appreciation of your own growth.
Yeah, if we can do that, the easiest way to do that is to just ask, what is your hashtag one thing? What's one thing that you're going to take from this?
Let's circle up over here. So we can all see each other.
Okay. Yeah, we need to go to the circle. I forgot.
Pro and Kibble, check your DM.
Oh.
My DM? Oh my goodness. I gotta up my goggle.
Your goggle. Nice.
All right.
Okay.
So does anyone have one big reflection you'd like to focus on? Also, a quick announcement before we get started. Individuals who are in the class, we do still need to do our after action review afterwards. So if you can hang out for a few minutes after, that would be great. All right. Who wants to share your hashtag one thing that you've gotten from the street epistemology that you'd like to take outside? Blurt out? Oh, was that Mary?
I think that was Mary.
Yeah. That was me, yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
I think I try to appreciate this anyway, but I think this session today kind of highlights how valuable variety of perspectives are. I feel like I learn more from having both the spectrum on either side. And
Yeah.
I like that variety.
100%. That's great.
Great contribution.
So just to streamline this, let's go in a circle. So Blurdette or Lau, who would like to go next?
Oh, yeah. I will take it. Sorry, but repeat the questions, please. I forgot what I need to do.
What did you?
What is your one thing that you want to take?
What
from
did you
this
grow
out into the outside world?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you. You know what I would say? Crash car or crash? I'm joking. Okay. So I really appreciate the spectrum of the perspective, and I have seen some people chose to observe and listen and learn more, which I appreciated, and also I really like how we joke around and have our open up and share our opinions, while also we are balancing between the discussing and the jokes. And I have realized all of us here are cautious with time, so I really appreciate that. Thank you.
Awesome. I would say that my one thing is I've learned that a lot of you only really need a single small nudge, and you do really wonderful otherwise. So if I can just trust all of you to move forward the process yourself, I think that that trust is entirely warranted. I have learned that there is a lot more confidence to be given to you, and that kind of makes my heart sing as a teacher.
Yay.
Well, I'm new here. Two things. I think it's so cool that I meet two other people who are wearing King's Raid avatars. I think we are a rare breed. And two, I think I learned some really interesting de-escalation techniques today. I'm going to keep them in mind. They were great.
Can you name one of them?
Yes, I guess I could give an example. When we heard the word delusional, then we were not only able to kind of, hey, that had an impact on the group. How can we change that, or like change the narrative on that, and also like I guess acknowledging it and also moving past it. That was very interesting.
Yeah, that's a great way to recognize it. Venia gave some really good tips on finding the values underneath.
Practice?
I was muted. Hello, camera. I'd say the challenge to say something different since everyone's been saying something quite similar. And it is nice to see that everyone has a similar thought process to the diversity and growth. With everyone here, it's always nice to see similar faces and new faces. And that's about my 2 cents on it.
Is there one thing specifically today that warmed your heart or made you grow?
Oh, what warmed my heart is to see so many lovely people here giving honest thoughts.
Okay.
I assume they're honest. There's supposed to be some imposters
Well played.
here.
Yeah. So the invitation here for just as an observation for what can happen in group processes is people like to rise above and thank everybody. And this is an invitation to bring it down to something super specific or someone super specific so that we can take that away and say, this time was different because that one anchored experience. So that's why I'm tugging you. And if you don't have one, we'll roll with that. That's just the invitation. Try to get really detailed.
One thing gets you good, and then you can come back later for more. I'll always be here. Bunny?
Well, I think I need to learn how to be more confrontational and abrasive because I was trying to get everyone with delusional. I mean, I was trying to put a funny edge on it just to, take the tension out of it, but nobody fucking bit. So I'm going to come back.
Find meaner words,
Strong
Bunny.
Bunny.
Just
Training
kidding.
works. For real though, I know that kind of breaking the style, but I do want to say thank you for doing that. I really want to say thank you for that.
We don't learn how to be good facilitators if somebody's not in here, like, getting in our craw.
That's right.
Yeah. Sounds good. Kibble?
It's hard being an imposter.
Oh. Did it make you tiny? And now you're just tiny?
Tiny.
Oh.
Tiny.
You sound sleepy too. I know your sleepy voice. Okay.
All right, George?
Ooh, a camera.
Two very, very different attitudes.
Just got a dance promotion. Oh yeah.
Love that.
Anyways, what I realized is after taking on the that I forgot what the role is called specifically, but getting up on stage, I realized it's not so much a soul effort as like it would be an actor or a rehearsal or a performance sort of thing. It's more of a unique role within the collaboration within the entire group. And there's parts of that I learned where we can kind of rely on each other and share, and like there's some support through that, and that's really nice to know and experience. So I'm very happy about that.
So facilitators aren't the star; they're the Obi-Wan to everyone else's Luke Skywalker, right?
Oh, this is a lightsaber? Cool.
Way to roll
Really
with
good
that.
observation. I love that. That's a great
Lovely.
one thing.
Mm-hmm.
Astral, you're up.
So one thing I took away was verbiage regarding how to describe census data for people in at-risk communities, I guess, and to build systemic solutions.
Okay. A new language. Cool. Armani. Armani is typing.
So it's quiet because it's actually typing.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Lau. That's a good point. Our audience doesn't know what's going on. Yeah.
So what we're seeing is, I'll continue off of that with more language. My one thing is we are, and our epistemology today really helps. Really helps understanding how
Wow.
we are.
It's
I'll
profound.
continue off of that with more language. My one thing is we are, and our epistemology today really helps in understanding how we are.
Yeah.
Wonderful. One dear.
I think everyone this book has already said everything, so I'll say something different. I did kind of learn something from the whole IQ talk. I was still a bit skeptical about what IQ is as a concept. That's why I went neutral the first time. I'm still a bit knowledgeable about the whole concept, but I did learn some stuff.
Nice. Yeah, got some new info.
What IQ is?
Mm-hmm.
Jose?
You're in a simulation, and that doesn't matter, so take the blue pill.
Okay, you cut out when you started, so can you share that one more time?
That's fine.
No. Jose.
Simulation or not doesn't matter, so just take the blue pill, I believe is
Yep.
what that was.
Yeah, I got it.
All right, Theo?
Wow.
What I gained from today, despite coming to the end, is recognizing into patience and gratitude of the moments that are fleeting, even if it's not in your control or in your expectations.
Kind of accepting that it doesn't always work out the way you wish, but still enjoy it. Lovely. God, I gotta center the camera on me. This is like a whole other thing. Okay. So what was my one thing? I learned that I think Armani and Blurdet should be president next. You both had really wise and compassionate things to say, and it grounded me to kind of hear your perspectives and just like be like, oh yeah, beyond the silliness, these are really real things you're talking about, and thank you for being an advocate for inclusivity. Yeah, so Armani Blurdet for president. That's my vote.
And let's get some emojis for other people in the group to kind of close us out a little bit. Great job.
Wait. Blurdet, we want to hear the wise thing by Blurdet.
I apologize.
No. Go ahead, Blurdet.
I've talked a lot, so it's okay. My one my what?
You got this.
Oh, yep. Sorry, my Alexa was going crazy. So my one thing is that I'm really wishing that I was in the civil discourse class, because I really love how Benya and everything, how you've integrated what you're doing there into this session. And I feel like I really learned even more than I usually do, trying to make those connections. And also on a deeper level, I just feel so fortunate that I bought a Quest in 2019, because had I not, like, this is the kind of like discourse and the kind of human connection that I have always looked for when I was a kid. And, you know, like, I've had the online chatting and all of that kind of stuff, but like this really is the best kind of human connection, because there's people from all over the world that I get to meet that want to have these kind of human talks and want to grow and want to help others grow. And it just gives me so much life, especially when times are so rough. So, you know, it's kind of like my thank you for everybody, but like, thank you for buying your Quest. Thank you for wanting to get into VR, so that you're here with me and you're making my life so much better.
Oh, all save for Mary.
World.
Oh, look, the math is coming out. Okay, let's all emoji our way out. That's the end of our event, but we can give lots of emojis for all the patience with the glitches and the compassion that we gave each other and the shade. All of this is community.
Such good shade.
Such good shade. Thank you, everybody, for bringing your heart and your bite. This is helping us all learn how to be more compassionate, deliberative diplomats. And then let's all pick a special emoji to give Venya, who came today and I voted her into MC and she did amazing. So thank you, Venya. Woo!
Thank you.
Okay, so
This
our
is the
next...
closest I'm ever going to get to Care Bear stare.
Oh. Our next event is going to be on Thursday. The Body Keeps the Score with Scott. And if you have enjoyed this event, please don't forget to go on Discord and RSVP so we have a count of who's coming. We may also have, we're creatively thinking how to keep these events a healthy size. So just know that as we get more popular, we're going to prioritize people that are RSVPing for our events. So please do that. Thank you, everybody. Oh my God, I get an evening off in just a few minutes. But I think Venya wants anybody in our class who has the ability, please stick around. Let's all wave goodbye to our, oh, my camera's over there. Our YouTube audience. Bye, YouTube audience. Thank you.